Boxing truth here. Sergey Crusher Kovalev is looking to send a message to Andre Ward by becoming the first to knock out his next opponent, Issac Chilemba, which is scheduled to take place next Monday in his hometown of Russia. The first time he's fought there in almost 5 years. And it shows how committed HBO is to Sergey Kovalev. They're willing to telecast a fight that's taking place all the way in Russia, also on a way different time slot than usual on a Monday. Back in the old days, big fights used to take place on Monday. But when's the last time you've seen a network like HBO willing to showcase a bout on a Monday in this new era of big fights, where now big fights take place usually on a Saturday night? So it only shows you that HBO is committed to Kovalev. They're in the Sergey Kovalev business. Now, when it comes to Kovalev's next opponent, Issac Chilemba, Chilemba is a solid opponent, a contender in the light heavyweight division. Yeah, he's got 3 losses, but he's a guy that's been tested. He's been in with good opposition. He's fought world-class opponents. He has a lot of solid victories under his resume against undefeated prospects. Had close fights with Tony Bellew, 2 tough close fights against Bellew, who's now a world champion at cruiserweight. And he's coming off a very debatable loss to Elador Alvarez on Alvarez's home soil in a title eliminator to become the number 1 contender for WBC. So when you look at Chilemba's overall resume, he has 2 close losses to guys where he was the road warrior. He was fighting in those guys' respective hometowns and ended up losing close decisions. So the guy is a durable fighter. He's a solid guy. He's in his prime. He's only 29 years old. He still has a lot left in the tank. He's tall for the division, 6'2". He leads off the jab. He has a solid jab. And he's never been stopped. So it'll be impressive for Kovalev to make the type of statements he's been making throughout his career, throughout his past few fights, just straight knocking guys out, dominating them. Guys can't even win a round off him. Only Pascal had any type of success in recent memory against Kovalev, actually winning a round or 2 against him. So Kovalev has shown a lot of invincibility thus far in his career. You don't see many weaknesses with him. The guy can do it all. He's lanky, he can box, he's got the athleticism, he's got great power. It's just hard to see anybody beating this guy right now, currently in the light heavyweight division. Any of the top guys that you can see that would say could give Kovalev a run for his money. So for this fight against Chilemba, it's unbelievable that Ward fanboys, when this fight was first announced, criticized the opponent for Kovalev. I mean, it's a solid opponent. Is Chilemba the most elite light heavyweight out there? No, but he's a contender in the division. He's battle tested. He's fought some solid guys. Has some solid wins. And he's never been knocked out. Honestly, Chilemba would have been the perfect opponent for Andre Ward for his interim fight right before a Kovalev fight. I mean, Chilemba would have been a very good opponent for preparation for Kovalev. The guy's tall, he's lanky, leads behind the jab. He doesn't have the power, but he has the size and reach to make it similar to a Kovalev fight, because he likes to lead off the jab. Ward has to find a way inside of Kovalev's long, straight, laser-like punches to have any success and he has to be careful not to get hit when coming inside that oncoming fire from Kovalev. So, the Ward fanboys criticize Chilemba as the opponent, even though Chilemba is a much more formidable opponent compared to Ward's next fight against Alexander Brand. Now, when Alexander Brand was announced as Ward's opponent, I didn't hear too many Ward fanboys saying shit about Kovalev's next fight or his next opponent. I didn't hear a damn thing about Kovalev's next opponent after Ward announced his next fight against Alexander Brand, because they see that Ward's taking on light work, that he's not even taking on a legit light heavyweight, not even a contender, not even a guy who's actually fought somebody, world-class opposition, or guys who are contending for titles. This is what Kovalev is fighting. He's fighting an experienced contender in the light heavyweight division, while Ward is fighting a 39-year-old super middleweight. But yet, somehow Kovalev got criticized for his opponent prior to his fight with Andre Ward later in the year in November. So, most expect Kovalev to have another great showing in this fight. Kovalev considers Chilemba an awkward opponent, and he would like to be the first to knock him out, to send a message, send a statement to Andre Ward. Perhaps Ward will have more sleepless nights, will have the jitters. Maybe he'll try to find a way out of this contract if Kovalev has the type of showing that most people expect in the boxing world, which is another emphatic knockout win. And for this fight, there's an interesting storyline. It's the first time Kovalev is fighting in Russia ever since that unfortunate night back in 2011 when he took a man's life. He hasn't fought there since, and now he'll be fighting in the same arena where the incident happened where he took a man's life. So, Kovalev finally opened up about that night, about that fight against Simakov back in 2011, a fight that he doesn't like to talk about, and he'll be going back to the same arena where that incident happened. So maybe that could have an effect on his psyche, but it hasn't affected his career ever since it happened. He's had tremendous performances ever since. Only one guy has gone the distance since that fight in 2011. Now it's Bernard Hopkins. So we'll see if Kovalev making his homecoming will have any effect on him mentally. But I doubt it. I expect another tremendous performance. Then hopefully Ward will do his job. We'll look to make light work of Alexander Brand, at least have an impressive performance, maybe even get a knockout. And then there will be a lot of intrigue behind the Kovalev-Ward fight, as Ward will be the most active he's ever been going into a big fight in quite some time. And then finally, this chapter will be closed in the light heavyweight division, as Kovalev will look to become HBO's next star. With a great win over Andre Ward. And then we'll see what happens with the light heavyweight division. As Kovalev still has other opponents out there to fight that he would like to fight. But of course, political divides could prevent those fights from happening. Beterbiev have already ducked Sergey Kovalev. Stevenson continues to duck Sergey Kovalev to fight obscure opposition, the type of opposition he's fighting later in the month. Not really much to look forward to in the month of July. Very few fights to look forward to. But I'm always look forward to watching Sergey Kovalev fight, because you're gonna see some action, you're gonna see some excitement. He's gonna wow you with his punching power, and that's always something to see when you watch Sergey Kovalev, who is regarded today as one of the few great fighters in the sport today. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this next fight. Can Chilemba last the distance? I doubt it, but we'll see. He's never been knocked out. He's tough, he's durable, tall for the division, lanky. We'll see how Sergey Kovalev handles him, but I expect another tremendous knockout win for the Crusher. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.